Good morning, class. Today we'll be looking at the directions around us. Our learning focus for this activity will be solving the questions, what are the cardinal directions, what is the compass rose, and how do we use these two things on maps and in our daily life? Now we're going to be watching a video called Maps and Cardinal Directions to get an overview of what we will be learning today.
We have been playing for so long. Now I'm really hungry.
Okay, now that we have watched the video, these are some of the words that you heard in the video. Physical features, map, cardinal directions, compass rose, north, south, east, and west. Based on what you know, including what you learned in the video, what are your definitions of these words? Can someone give me a definition of physical features? Great. What about map? Good. What's your definition of compass rose? What does a compass rose even look like? Great. And what is north, south, east, and west? Yes, those are the different directions. We're going to be adding these words and picture definitions of these words to our word wall so you can look at it and remember what we learned. Now we're going to turn and talk to your neighbor and answer these questions on the board. First, what is an example of a physical feature? You can look around the classroom and see if you can get an example that way, or you can remember an example from the video. Okay, now what does a map look like? Is it round? Is it flat? Does it have color? Okay, good. Our next question is, what are the 4 cardinal directions? Yes, it is north, south, east, and west. Now we're all going to point together the different cardinal directions. Can you all point in the direction of north? Okay, what about south? Good. What about east? Okay, and now let's point to west. Great job, everybody. Give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, now let's talk about how we use directions in our day-to-day life. How does your parents know which way to go in order to get you to school every morning? Do they use street signs? Do they remember landmark structures like turning right at the Wendy's, or what else might they do? Okay, now what are some things that we use in order to know where to go? We talked about how we use maps. Have you guys seen your parents use like a navigation system like GPS? Or do they use their phone like through Google Maps? Or what other tools could we use in order to know where to go? Good. Our next question is, how would you explain to a new student how to get to the lunchroom? Those are good directions, you guys. Now we're going to go outside and play a direction game. This game is kind of like red light, green light, yellow light, but we're going to be using the cardinal directions instead. One person will be the leader and everybody else will be in the front of the leader, and lots of space in between the leader and the rest of you guys. Then the leader will yell out either north, west, south, or east, and the rest of the class will go in that direction while the leader will stay still. The first person to walk past the leader will be the new leader, and the game will start over. We will do this a few times. As you guys get comfortable with it, we might change it up and add northeast, southeast, and more like that. Okay, now that we're done with the games and back inside, we will start creating our maps of the classroom using paper and your colored pencils. I will be looking for some things on your map, including making sure you use different colors for different objects. Because like it said in the video, on the map, everything has to be in a different color so you can tell things apart. Then I want you guys to label big objects on your map. You don't have to label every little thing, but I want you guys to label the big things like desk, door, the board, things like that. I also want you to draw in the compass rose and the cardinal directions on that compass rose so that we know where north, south, east, and west is on your classroom map. Okay, let's start drawing.